listening? Can you hear me? This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me?
With your host, Brandon Tierney. In 3, 2, 1.
And the grind, the emotional grind of the playoffs here, J-Rod. Today's feeling different, man. I'm feeling pretty good. A little nervous.
Yes,
I'm not going to lie to you, a little nervous here. But we've had a day to, dust ourselves off here, regenerate a little bit, and let's go. I mean, tonight's going to be absolutely bonkers. J-Rod is going to be, we're going to be hanging out tonight watching the game over at Borelli's. So we're going to have a great time. He's coming out. He'll probably beat me there. And we are going to get loose tonight. And Knicks fans are ready. And, oh, yeah, by the way, so are the Spurs fans. Spurs fans are ready as well. So hopefully everybody's good. Listen, there's really 3 things that are at play tonight. I could probably come up with 10, but to me, number 1, how does Brunson handle the pressure? Because the way he handles the pressure impacts the rest of the team, just based on the ball domination, all that stuff. Number 2, will the Knicks put Wemby on his ass at some point? And number 3, what's the officiating going to be like early? Those are the 3 main storylines. You know, and I got to tell you, I'm not surprised, obviously, but Jay, I genuinely don't know where you stand on this. I'm not surprised, but the NBA absolutely messed up. So they went back, they reviewed the play with Wemby and Brunson. They decided against a flagrant foul. They said it should have been a common foul. Okay, great. So the big news here is that this was yesterday. Wemby stays at the 2 flagrant points in the postseason. If you get 4, you get a suspension. Obviously, we know what happened with Naz Reid against the T-Wolves earlier where he got the 2, got ejected. So what should be happening right now, and it's not, but what should have happened yesterday is that the NBA should have been transparent and they should have had the stones to do the right thing. And they should have assessed Wemby with a flagrant 1, which would have jacked up the 2 points to 3, which would have made tonight and the rest of the series very different. But really, because the NBA's got no backbone and the NBA is always going to cater to the stars, they elected not to do that. Let me ask you a question. If that was, Mitch Robinson, you think that they could attack on the extra point? I do. So another example here, J-Rod, and I really don't know where you stand on this, but another example of the NBA doing the wrong thing. I'm not surprised. I want to be clear about that. I knew that they were going to do this, but it doesn't make it right. They messed up again.
So, I mean, my thoughts on this, and, I was just watching some people go through it, and I've got a couple thoughts. One is a little, maybe the Knicks fans will be unhappy, and maybe my other point, maybe they'll see my point. So first off, I don't think he should have been assessed a flagrant foul. I just think in the NBA Finals, listen, obviously in the regular season, that would be a flagrant foul, no doubt, but the stakes are higher. It's a physical game. Brunson was definitely grabbing that jersey. There's no denying it. If you watch the clip, Brunson was grabbing that jersey.
Yeah, he did.
The other thing that I saw was the Knicks running on the court during the bench players coming on the court during the Josh Hart and Luke Cornett debacle, which if any of them were caught, it would have been an immediate suspension.
Yep.
OG, Alvarado, I believe one other player.
Yeah, there was somebody else. Yeah.
So in that case, the Knicks kind of got away with a little referee, mistake there as well on their own hand. However, the reason I think the Knicks should be happy that Wemby did not get assessed a flagrant foul is because if he got assessed a flagrant foul, the NBA would do anything in their ability to keep him from getting that 4th flagrant, which means that he would be running around that court like a maniac. He would be pushing people. He would be flailing his arms, knowing that the NBA is not going to do anything to get him suspended for that 1 game.
Interesting take. I couldn't disagree more. I don't see it that way at all. I think if if he's going to midcourt tonight for the opening tip, and he's got 3 flagrant points in his back pocket, I think it's the opposite. I don't think he's playing with a physical freedom. I think he's reluctant. I think he's reticent to do anything that might blur the line. Now, let me take it back to something you said, because this is a philosophical difference. And whether it's the Knicks and the Spurs or really any sport, right? And I've heard this a lot. You're not the first one to say this. I just vehemently disagree, but I understand why you say this. I just don't see it that way. So I've heard a lot of people over the years say, well, it's a big game or it's the final couple of minutes and swallow the whistle, even if somebody kind of crosses that line. To me, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, a foul is a foul, a ball is a ball, a strike is a strike, a holding penalty in the NFL or pass interference penalty in the NFL in the fourth quarter of a wild card game should still be the same interpretation of a pass interference week 2 Jaguars Titans in the first quarter in what's going to amount to a fairly innocuous game. I've never subscribed to that. Now, you're not alone.
Sure.
You're not. Like, a lot of people say that, but I don't allow the moment to redefine the record, the rule book. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. If the rules are written, then you've got to apply them independent of the situation. I don't see that at all.
No, I think like, you bring up a fair point. My only thing is, I think as NBA fans, I think we teeter on a very polarizing line between wanting the game to be more physical and wanting the game to be called the right way. And I'm not saying that, Wembanyama's move wouldn't have been a flagrant in any era. It probably would be, even in the 90s and such like that. But I just think we have to decide. Do we want a more physical game or do we want a perfectly refereed game?
Well, here's the thing. It's never going to be perfect. We understand that, right? There's been fluctuations. They're humans. I get that. But the problem is there's been too many different, I don't want to say rules, but, versions of officiating within the game. Like, it's one thing to maybe fluctuate from game to game when you have a different officiating crew roll in. I think it's so unfair, not just to the Knicks, to the Spurs, when you start one way and then, all right, now it's getting a little too physical, and now we've got to really change midstream. Where I think that's really hard for a player to adjust to, where you're doing whatever you're doing in the first half, and then all of a sudden, all right, bodies start flying. All right, guys, getting a little rough in here. Let's go. And now within the game, you're asking these players to adjust to a level of physicality that you allowed to transpire for the first hour. Like, that's my biggest problem here. And listen, I want to see Wemby out there because I want the Knicks to win when Wemby's on the court. Like, not that there would be an asterisk. Listen, if you commit a flagrant foul, you get the 4 points, you accrue the points there, and you get suspended. Well, the rules, don't do it. I would prefer to see all the best players, no foul trouble, play their 37, 38-minute, whatever it might be. Some guys 40 in certain instances, and let the best team win. But even like what you said about Wemby and Jalen Brunson had a handful of his jersey. He absolutely did. But that's never been a flagrant.
No.
So we can't equate the two to the same thing. Just because Brunson was, and now he did it pretty stealthily, where he was up on him, and it's not like his arm was extended. You couldn't see it. I mean, it was a pretty smart, pretty savvy move by Brunson, and they didn't catch it, right? So, but just because he was doing that, and even if they maybe otherwise would have called that a foul in another game in a December or round 1, whatever, it doesn't mean that the guy who then strikes back next with such excessive force should be exonerated. Like, otherwise, why do we have a rule book here? I mean, the rules are created to enforce. So listen, at the end, I'm not going to rant on this forever, but because I want to get some other stuff, but I was not surprised at all, but I was disappointed. Like, in no universe are you allowed to take, even if it's the star or if it's the ninth man coming in for 2 minutes in the second quarter because somebody's got fouls. You're not allowed to do that. You can't take your hand and shove somebody in the back. You can't do it. So they allowed him to do it. Now you got to move on. All right. There's no downstream repercussions because you didn't get assessed a flagrant one. And now the Knicks have a choice here. All right. Now the Knicks have a choice. Did you see what Alvarado said?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So,
well, that's what I mean. To me, that's the better retaliation than having the league hold your hand and help you out here. I know.
But Jay, is it? And listen, I appreciate the disagreement, but Is it holding your hand, or is it just
No,
really
it's
protecting the integrity of the game?
It's calling it right, but listen,
Okay.
if you're asking from a fan's perspective, what would
Yeah.
I rather see? This guy get his comeuppance by the league rules, or this guy get absolutely splayed out on the floor?
Yes.
It's the latter.
Yeah, no,
it's the
me
latter. Too. And trust me, with him not getting the flagrant one, the Knicks are a hell of a lot more likely to lay this guy out flat on his back.
Yeah, I mean, I can even push back on that only because think about this, and then I want to move on to the other stuff. Like, let's say he would have been assessed the point retroactively, right? So now he's at 3. Don't you think? Now this would be a goon move. This would be like 90s, Knicks thuggery, right? Which I really wouldn't have an issue given how dirty Wemby is becoming, right? He's becoming a dirty player. Like as good as he is and as transcendent as he's eventually going to be, he is morphed into a dirty player. But imagine if he had the 3. Well, then now the onus, you can make the very easy case. If I'm the Knicks, now I don't want Brunson to do this. I don't necessarily want OG but I wouldn't mind Alvarado doing this, or Shamet doing this, or even Mitch doing this, where if you strike, because remember, it's usually the second guy who gets caught. And if he's sitting there on 3 flagrant points, and early on, either it's the elbow to the rib, and again, below the neck, but something that's forceful and something that is incredibly easy to interpret, that's a flagrant. Well, now you're tempting him. You're baiting him. Hey, we will willingly take, give up a couple of free throws, possession, whatever it might be. Now, let's see if you strike back. Let's see, because you're young and, you still, he's tremendous, but you're young. You're still learning the physicality of the game. You're still learning what you can do and what you can't. I almost think that, like, if he had the 3, then that's even more of a license, Jay, to go at him early and see if he does something
and
back.
bait him into it.
Yes. Then that's 4, and then you sit.
Yeah, mate. I mean,
that would have been the move.
Fair. I think you just got to call up Zaza.
Yeah, exactly.
Give a dude a clobbering.
What time you getting to the bar tonight, by the way? What time you rolling in, Jay?
I think I'm probably going to do 8:15. I mean, it takes me like an hour 15 to get there.
Yep.
So
we have a blast, dude.
Cannot wait to see all y'all.
Yeah.
Man,
I can't wait to introduce you to the Borelli's crowd. It's going to be you're going to be like, man, this place is absolutely nuts. All right. Let's get into it. Get some other stuff here. Obviously, hopefully everybody's doing well. Good morning. Like it. Hit that like button. Pound that for us here. Today's show brought to you by Sullivan Papain. Of course, find Sullivan online at triallaw1.com. That's triallaw1.com. Remember the name Sullivan Papain, and by my friends at Premio Sausage. That's the way sausage should be. Find them at premiofoods.com or in your local grocery store. All right, so I gave you 3 things out of the chute. The pressure on Brunson, because the way he handles the pressure and the way he runs the offense is going to really determine how I think everybody else plays. If it's the ball-dominant version last game, which I don't think it will be, but if it is, Knicks are not winning this game. They will not. This is not a recipe to beat most teams at this level. And Jay, it's certainly not a recipe to beat the Spurs, who have a lot of strong, big body, like physically tougher players.
Yeah.
Like Castle, one of them, obviously, who are going to continue to make Jalen Brunson's life very, very tricky. Jalen Brunson right now is not having a good series at all. It's just not. We love him. He's amazing, but you got to call for what it is. Like if this was the World Series, Jalen Brunson would be batting about 160, to equate that to a Judge or, A-Rod when he was trying to crack through. He's not playing well. He's not playing efficiently. 12 for 25, 7 for 25, 12 for 31. Number 1, too many shots, which means fewer shots for Cat. Number 2, ball's not going in. So how he deals with the pressure, whether or not the Knicks will retaliate and strike early on Wemby, and then, a subset of that is how is the game officiated? I almost feel like tonight, and I really hope that this doesn't happen, but I feel like there's going to be such an acute awareness that from the referees and the league that they're going to over officiate this thing. And the last thing you want to see, and by the way, just removing my Nick fandom for a sec, you don't want to see Castle on the bench early. You don't want to see Dylan Harper with 2 fouls early. Cheap fouls. You don't want to see Wemby on the bench with 2 fouls 7 minutes into the first quarter. You want to see the best players compete, and you want to see the best version of each of these teams here. So I would have to think, maybe I'm naive here. I've got some faith, Jay, that the refs will be able to navigate this properly, but you never know. You never know. And what Alvarado said, he basically said, now, and again, I don't really know what he meant, because the last thing he said was, that will not happen again. Was that a threat, or was that just him probably talking about the officials and the way it's going to be called? I don't really know, because I don't know what's in his heart. I know he's a pit bull, and I know that he would have no problem throwing an elbow.
Absolutely.
His elbow is probably going to hit Wemby in the thigh rather than
the kneecap.
In the kneecap, right? But how did you interpret that? I've kind of seen it both ways.
At first you'd like to think of it as, oh, he's a dog. He's gonna go. Well,
he is a dog.
Wemby. Oh,
but
there's no denying. There's no denying that. He's actually been the guy who, like, if you watch the games, he's almost the least scared to shoot over Wemby.
I know.
Like, he'll take the threes over him. He'll take the fadeaways over him. So love Alvarado for that. I think, though, the way the quote reads more is just almost like it's not going to happen again because of the referees, because of circumstantial, like it's not going to happen again, just period. Or maybe it's not going to happen again, and there's a bit of a threat in there, but it's almost like it's not going to happen again because if it does, then the retaliation will happen. Not necessarily that something's already about to happen, but maybe more so, don't do it again.
Do you remember the other night? I guess that would have been game. I think it was game 2. Yeah, where Shaq and Charles were going back and forth about how Wemby needs to play with more energy and assert himself. That was game 2, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. I find it interesting, and I also agree with part of this, right? Where Shaq was like, "Good, you've got you have to send them when you're Wemby, or now very different levels of physicality, but when you're a young big and you're a star, you've got to let people know right away that you're not going to allow them to take cheap shots and liberties with you physically. So, like, if I'm a big Spurs fan right now, I'm loving what Wemby's doing.
Absolutely. I've said this to all my boys, bro. I would love if my star players were as aggressive as he was.
I would if he was a Knick and he was getting punked and he was allowing Brunson or Alvarado, like the smaller guys, to get up in him and try to push him around and maybe, I don't want to say take his knees out, but like, when you box somebody out, you go low.
Course.
Like if anybody was doing that to Wemby and he was not responding the way I would want my young superstar to respond, I would have a massive issue with that. So, I'm trying to look through the prism of objectivity, at least with this here.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it. It speaks to, now the ultimate coronation will come when he's a champion, whether it's this year, next year, whenever that comes. But part of being like an all-time superstar, and that's the trajectory that he's on, is you can't put up with anybody else's nonsense. Think about what Michael Jordan did when the Pistons were thumping him every time he went to the rim, got in a weight room, and he came back and he stopped taking that stuff. And then, number one, he was more physically resilient so he could absorb the shots and still go and do what he was doing. But then there was a message sent like, oh, okay, MJ's not going to punk out. He's not going to punk out. And especially for a big, all right? Now, Shaq was different because he was just such brute force. Will, did whatever he wanted. Kareem was an interesting mixture of, even though he was thin and wasn't as like demonstrative, like physical, that demonstrative physical presence like a Shaq. Like you go back and you look at some videos of Kareem, whether it's Bird mixing things up in the finals, throwing elbows and going nose to nose, like you've got to protect yourself, especially if you feel like the refs aren't. So listen, I can view it both ways. I can applaud Wemby for doing whatever it takes to win a championship. That's what you got to do. But I could also say, I think the NBA messed up, and I know why they messed up, because they want to protect their guy and they want to make sure that their superstar, their global commodity, is not on the court when the entire world is watching. At City Moons, would like to see OG and Cat drive to the rim more often, try to get Wemby in foul trouble early. Yeah, well, I agree, but the only way that happens is if they get the basketball. I mean, this is not rocket science here. Again, I said this yesterday. He was doing it again today. I thought the video that my guy Jay Williams was doing on Get Up with Greeny and those guys was phenomenal. I mean, he isolated 4 plays, and you literally saw, of the 24-second shot clock, he possessed the basketball for 19 and 20 seconds, right? And I think there were more, but just for time's sake on TV, he had to move on with the segment where nobody touched the ball and there was zero movement, which allows, the more physical guards to obviously key up and stop Brunson from doing his thing. But also, they were so in tune with, like, one eye on the player in front of them and another eye on the spacing of the shooters and the cuts. Nobody was moving. Guys were standing around. And I would think on multiple levels that the film session for the Knicks yesterday was not pretty. Now, I know that they're a tight team. That's one of the great things about them, right? Very connected. How many times? They're connected, great connectivity. Well, it's true. And when you're connected and when you have that deep level of trust and synergy, you are able to communicate honestly to your teammate. I don't mean in front of the media. I mean with the lights out and the game on and the coaching staff and every player on that team in a room watching what went down the other night. And I promise you, whether it's Hart, whether it's Cat, whether it's whomever, people spoke up. And I'm sure that Jalen Brunson, being the selfless leader and the great team-oriented player that he is, I promise you, he's walking around saying, like Cat, big fella, I got you. I got you. I got it. I got it. And, it's you're going to know right away we talk about these adjustments, right? And I was saying this a couple of weeks ago, like, think about the halftime adjustments that these coaches talk about, these meaningless halftime interviews. Coach, you couldn't run the ball here. What's the, meanwhile, he's like halfway in the tunnel. Yeah. He's already moving away from the interviewer. Coach, I haven't been able to run the ball much. How do you change that? Block better. Are we done? But really, the adjustments, we throw that out there, and it's like just so nebulous. Make an adjustment. Make an adjustment. Come on, coach. Make an adjustment. Where's the adjustment, coach? But if you know the game and you really watch the game, and if the Knicks are going to be on point from the outset tonight, you will see an immediate adjustment. You'll just see the ball whipping around. I mean, when the Knicks are at their best, the ball's not touching the floor. Nobody's dribbling. They're opportunistic on the break, and they get to their spot, really around the paint. They force the defense to react. Then you kick it in the corners for either OG or Bridges or Shabbat or whomever. And if not, you just run it up top with Cat, and you let him develop and run the offense. So, Jay, I fully expect to see a well-oiled offensive machine tonight from the Knicks.
Agreed. I think they, not they desperately, but they need to get back to the way they were playing in the series before. But I mean, granted, they have played a semblance of that within this series, but it hasn't been to the exact connectivity, as you were saying, as it's been in prior series. So, yes, tonight, you need to see that ball working around. I mean, geez, bro, this dude's got the basketball looking like Tom Brady's footballs out there. He's just going, tss, tss. The air's pumping out of it. I want to see the ball worked around. And like he's saying right here, you need to see Bridges and Cat get going. OG has been phenomenal, and you need him to keep that. You can't have him regressing back to an average OG. Mm-hmm. I think you need him at his best to truly win this series. I think OG's got to stay at his best. But I want to see Bridges and Towns, and we say this every game, but it doesn't always happen. It doesn't always come to fruition. And so tonight, I really want to see it run through Towns at the top of the key, get Bridges his couple early first quarter, maybe his layup, maybe his fadeaway 3-pointer. Yep. Just get him feeling good. Get him feeling good in that first quarter. and you will be looking great. But you need Bridges, you need Cat.
That stuff we agree on. We don't necessarily agree on the Wemby stuff there, but absolutely no. I think every Knicks fan feel. I don't know a Knicks fan that doesn't feel that way. I mean, that's basic stuff at this point. And the other thing too is, the Knicks are up 2-1. You tell me, and we know I'm asking rhetorically. The answer is the Spurs. You tell me, you tell us which team's done a better job of, whether it's imposing their will or their style, however you want to frame it, on the series in totality. It's the Spurs.
Yeah.
It is the Spurs, which is why I'm a little nervous. Which is why I'm a little nervous here. It's not one game. It's not two. It's three. And I understand, Knicks have been incredibly resilient, and they've gotten stops late in games when they had to pull off miracle comebacks or close to miracle comebacks. There's an expiration point on that. And the deeper I would think, guys, the deeper the series goes, like if the Knicks fall behind again, which they do every game, well, now it's game 4. And now there's no guesswork. And I would have to think that the Spurs would then make the necessary adjustment to not allow the Knicks to come back. You are messing with if they're down double figures, third quarter, I wouldn't quite say it, but if you're down 12, 13 points in the fourth quarter, even if it's early, they're not winning this game. It's got to be a totally different profile. It's got to be a different script. It can't be the same movie, even though they've won 2 out of 3. And I said yesterday, and I stand by this, whomever wins tonight is your champion. Now, there won't be a trophy handed out tonight, but the team that walks off the Garden floor with the dub is going to win the championship. I honestly believe that, I mean, geez. Do you disagree with that?
I fully agree with it, actually.
Yeah. And Jay, real quick, hold on, Jay. By the way, I'm not saying that the Knicks are incapable of going to San Antonio and winning again. They've done it twice. Like, they've earned that respect. They've earned that runway to figure things out. It's not like try to be ahead of the curve or a hot take. Oh, the Knicks better win tonight or they're going to lose. Like, I just genuinely feel that the way the matchups have gone, the way the tone of the series has gone, the way both teams have looked physically and emotionally, Spurs are figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
And the Spurs are going in the right direction, and the Knicks are going a little in the wrong direction. And that better stop tonight.
I mean, yeah, it must. I feel a similar way. And here's my thoughts. With the Knicks win tonight, of course they have all the momentum. You're up 3-1. Clearly odds are in your favor. History's in your favor. I guess recent history is less in your favor, but history is still in your favor with a 3-1 lead. Now, if the Spurs win tonight, man, you've got that 2-game winning streak going. And if the Spurs win tonight, I have a feeling it'll be on the heels of another very dominant inside the paint performance by Wemby. And hopefully Dylan Harper doesn't get going tonight, because
he's a wild card.
He's been relatively, and not to say he's been lackluster. I mean, he's still been a good player on
last
the court.
game. There's really
But his shooting percentages have been down. His 3-point shooting's been pretty off this series. His inside scoring's been good. But yeah, if he has a game tonight where he can kind of figure out his jumper and stuff like that, watch out.
The other thing too, and I've said this quite a bit. I've said this more about the Yankees, right? And I do think it applies in this situation. The home field and the home court's great, right? But when although the last crowd was, a little different than usual crowds for a lot of reasons, the prices, all that stuff. I think that when you start slowly at home, all right, there's an audible, this is going to sound like a contradiction. There's an audible silence that begins to permeate the arena in this case, right? And that becomes heavy for the home team, and that becomes oxygen for the road team. Think about the fluctuations of emotions as a Knicks fan. And then I'll get to the Spurs fans' emotion, right? So the Knicks fan went into the finals saying, let's get one in San Antonio. And by the way, pretty confident that they would. Then they get the first game, it's like, party's on. Then they get going into game 2, it's like, let's get greedy. Now once you get game 2, we're booking championship parade routes is what we were doing. And that's on us. We're allowed to do that because we're not playing. And then just like that, bang, for a lot of reasons that we've chronicled, obviously, throughout the last few shows, now the energy's different. And I said yesterday, one thing about the Garden, right? When it's popping, it is the best. But it's not collegiate like Oklahoma City or San Antonio. And like a collegiate buzz is good when you're not playing well. When it becomes a little stagnant, now the opposition feeds off that. And I think the Knicks feel that. That's why I've always said, like, as I prefaced it with, I've said this a lot about the Yankees over the years. Yeah, it's great to play, a decisive game at Yankee Stadium, right? Whatever it might be, divisional series, whatever. But when you got 5 zeros up on the board and the other team drops a crooked spot early, you don't hear much. And the players kind of carry that into the batter's box. It's getting late. And then you get outside of yourself and you try to do things, not that you're not capable of, but you don't always do the things that got you there. I haven't said this once. I think in this series, I think a quick start is imperative tonight. If you're looking up, what was it? What were they down? What the hell was it? I may have thrown that note out. I know it was like 21-12, 11-3, 7-zip. Like, not that you can't recover from 7-zip, but you are now messing with an energy that's going to build momentum in the wrong direction. And now think about, the Spurs fans can't impact tonight, but think about how they feel. I just ran through the emotions of the Knicks. Hoping to get 1, getting 1, feeling good. Getting 2, feeling great, right? Going into game 3, we're going to wax this team. And I was talking about it, right? I didn't say that they'd wax them. I did think that they would win. Talking about history. Let's get the 15 straight. Get 2 more. Go right there with the dynastic Warriors forever in history. Always have. It's one thing to be a champion, which is amazing. And we'll take that. Obviously. But it's another thing to be a champion and always be associated with the highest level of accomplishment. The 98 Yankees, the 61 Yankees, and there's obviously many other teams. The Warriors, 72 wins. Like, those things never go away. And you're in the bag of, and mixed up with many other champions, but you're able to elevate to a level that is historically without peer, outside of, in this case, if they would have won the other night, and tonight it would have been the Warriors. But, it doesn't really, like, the trophy doesn't get bigger. The ring doesn't get bigger. The experiences don't necessarily get, from a fan's point of view, more vivid, but it's something that you can always reference and say, look at us. Took us 53 years, and look at the manner in which they got there. Now, as we go into tonight, is Wemby going to drop 35? The flip of emotions, right? What are the refs going to do? Are they going to punch back on Wemby? Is the offense going to be stagnant? Now all the questions are creeping back in, and that's natural. That's human emotion. Now think about the Spurs fan. What do you think they're thinking? They probably weren't taking the Knicks that seriously. Certainly not as seriously as they were taking Kobe and Shaq back in the day, like when banging heads in the Western Conference to get to the NBA Finals, right? But imagine being a Spurs fan and every night watching Wemby. Every night, not just now. And I know we've seen him play national games. Clearly, if you're a big, devout NBA fan, maybe you parachuted into other series like the T-Wolves when he got the flagrant 2 with Naz Reid. We all know he's amazing. But if you're a Spurs fan, you watch this guy play every day. You're like, there's no way we're losing to the Knicks. Knicks haven't won since 1973. He's not going to outplay Cat. Stop. We're going to win. Because that's what we do with the Spurs. We win. Similar to the Yankee fan mindset, though it's been a minute with the Yankees, obviously. And they lost the first game, and they're like, ooh, didn't necessarily see that coming. And then they lost the second game. They're like, oh, we got massive problems. Now we got to go to that zoo at Madison Square Garden. Oh, my God. Maybe we're not going to win this thing. And then they win, and the manner in which they won is even more inspiration to think, here we are. And I can't prove this. It's my opinion, J-Rod, that right now if there was a tangible confidence meter, I believe that the Spurs, I don't mean arrogance or hope or confidence, that the Spurs' confidence of their fans, that meter is higher than the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I think part of that just comes in line with the lineage of the Spurs, the legacy of the Spurs. These fans, they're solid. They've been there before. They trust in their guys. Whereas Knicks fans, this is your first finals in 27 years. Every game is a disaster, is an utter collapse. And I don't blame Knicks fans for that belief either, because you've never been here. So any win is one step that much closer to the victory, and every loss is like them pulling out the hook at the talent show and ripping you off stage.
Yeah, get off stage.
And taking you like one step closer to out the door. So I understand where the confidence, why the confidence has dipped in the Knicks fans as well. But yeah, going into this game, I'd say the Spurs fans' confidence is certainly higher, just due to coming off a big, wasn't a dominant win, but it was an impressionable win. It was a game where you saw the Spurs as the more physically dominant team.
Yep.
And the other games where the Knicks have beat the Spurs, it wasn't because the Knicks were more dominant physically. It's because they were more resilient. They're a great comeback team, but it's different than kind of imposing your will physically.
Yeah. I'm very opportunistic, very efficient when you have to be, because when you're down 13-14, maybe that next mistake is the difference between being able to come back or not. So they are used to living on that, living on the edge, to quote Aerosmith. Great song, by the way.
Which one?
The edge.
Oh, yeah.
You like that? It's a good video.
I got to check that.
You never saw the video?
I don't think so, no.
You weren't, videos were huge, but I mean, I know videos aren't big now, but even at your younger days, no videos?
I mean, I love music videos in general, but in terms of the Aerosmith one, okay, the best is Walk This Way with Run DMC.
Yeah.
Where, have you seen that music video? They break through the wall.
When they smash through the wall.
Yeah.
It's funny. I love Run DMC and I love Aerosmith. I don't love that song.
Agreed.
It's not one of my favorites.
The original Walk This Way by Aerosmith smokes that track. Like it puts it on a grill and destroys it. I've seen the Dream On video too.
That's phenomenal. That's one of my favorite songs.
That's a good one. I mean, that's so
good.
Dude, that'll be a great song if all that happens here actually comes through. I need to hear some Dream On. Oh, that'd be so
well, then we could stop dreaming, because it actually happens. I mean, they're gonna be singing Dream On if they don't win.
Yeah, maybe.
You gotta keep dreaming, I want to stop dreaming. I want to start doing.
Oh.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long day to get to this.
I mean,
it's gonna take forever.
This is one, and dude, even coming from a Celtics fan, this is one of the NBA games I am most excited for in my entire life, man.
Okay.
Not even just because of the, I think the channel's the main reason, just because we're doing this here.
Yep.
But I think the second main reason is, man, I've never felt the tension so high between a franchise. Yeah, this might be some of the tensest finals outcomes of all time. Knicks, first franchise championship in 53 years. Cement Jalen Brunson legacy. Cat changes the narrative around his career for
Mike Brown.
I mean, come on.
If Mike Brown's a champion, move over Van Gundy and everybody else. Except
if Mike Brown wins a championship here, he'll probably be in the Hall of Fame one day. No, I mean, I would not
agree with
past the Basketball Hall of Fame.
And by the way, real quick, Jay, because that sounds somebody might hear that and be like, what? Huh? He's actually already won Coach of the Year twice.
Yeah.
So the resume's already pretty good. Yeah.
So it honestly might already happen as is. And then for the Spurs, I think the stakes are now, they're not just as high because it's not at a franchise level where, the Spurs are probably the most successful team of the 21st century, as opposed to the least successful team of the 21st century up until this point.
The crazy thing. Okay, finish up. You good?
But I think the stakes are very high for the Spurs, because here's Wemby. Here's your shot to now you're chasing the greats. You're chasing the great ones. Here's your shot to go 1-0 in your first championship, as opposed to the 0-1.
Yeah. I mean, think about Magic winning right away as a kid. The interesting thing too about what you said about like the physicality, sure, but like it's almost as if this is playing out. You generally get this in the conference finals or the conference semis, where like it's really hard to have a rivalry or a disdain in the sporting sense for somebody when you don't play with any frequency. You know what I mean? Think about, the easiest thing for me to do is always go, Knicks Bulls, Knicks Heat, Knicks Pacers, like stuff like that, right? That's easy.
Absolutely.
Get back with Reggie and those guys back in the day. But even think about like Lakers, Portland Trailblazers, Sacramento Kings were involved in that, Dirk, many times. Like when you repeatedly see somebody, you just, number one, their tendencies. So everything's every inch of the court is contested because you know where the other guy's going.
Yep.
And it's literally, you're in the way of me accomplishing my goal. Now, of course, the Spurs are in the Knicks way and the Knicks are in the Spurs way. I get that. But you play twice a year. So it generally doesn't have that level of, again, disdain is a strong word, but
yes,
this is a physical finals. As much as you could be in the mid 2020s, we all thought these days were done. And we all lament whoa, back in the day, it used to be like this. This is what it was like. Well, this is kind of a version of that.
Yeah.
So the thing about, and like the legacy stuff is a little bit tiring, but you're not wrong. If Wemby wins and punches through and gets that first championship for one of the great franchises in pro sports, the way they're run and the way they've been run for basically 30-something years at this point, it's undeniable. Like then everything that's said about him is with justification. Could he be Kareem? Will he pass Shaq? He's not going to pass Russell with the championships, but, could he wind up higher than, say, somebody like Wilt, whether it's statistically or just in public perception when we run through the greats of the NBA? That's the Wemby stuff, right? And, by the way, and Dylan Harper's going to wind up being awesome as well. But so there's even downstream stuff there. Castle's a dog, as we know. But to me, the Brunson stuff, I think it's more interesting because I have no doubt that Wemby's going to win multiple championships. Now I'm sure Portland Trailblazers fans were saying this back in the day with Bill Walton before he broke his foot and had a lot of foot issues. I think they won in 77. Yeah. And off that great epic, one of the 3, 4, 5 best college players of all time, the great Bill Walton, rest in peace, UCLA. And then he wins Portland, Rip City, place is on fire, and then he never won again. Now, he won with the Celtics as a reserve.
100%.
Backing up Robert Parrish, but his body betrayed him. And Wemby, you see him walking up the ramp into the Garden. It's like he's walking on stilts. He's a spring bean. And, I hope that we're not deprived of watching his greatness for 14, 15 years. But I want the greatness on pause, and I want an interruption in the route. But he's going to eventually win. He's going to win MVPs. He's just going to obliterate the record book. He's that guy. Brunson, there's no guarantee he gets back. And nobody's debating, like, hey, is Wemby a star? Like, it's fully justified. Everybody knows that beginning now, the NBA universe is floating around Wemby. He is the main planet. Whereas Brunson, really going back to not being drafted in the first round, and then, and rightfully so, playing second fiddle to Luka Doncic in Dallas, and then Luka going down and him dropping 41, I think it was, in a playoff game. Then the Mavericks try to come back and give him the money that they didn't really want to give him early. And then him saying, I'm good. Then him going to the Knicks. And we all liked the move, right? But there were a lot of questions. Is he really that guy? Is he really worth the money? And then you start seeing him banging in clutch shot after clutch shot I'm talking about from the day he stepped foot in the building in New York with the Knicks. But there was always we're always trying to discern. And I get it. I understand why. I'm not saying it's not without justification on some level, but is he really a superstar? Is he a star? Can you win a championship with Brunson? Can he be the best player on a championship team? And if you're up 2-0 and you lose this series and you shoot whatever he's shooting, 33, 34%, 35%, overall, it's going to be almost impossible to rewrite his personal narrative. So there's a lot of stuff here, man. 53 years, Brunson, Wemby. I mean, hopefully the crowd, takes a peace pill before, I said I gotta go back to something I said yesterday, just to be clear, right? So, like many of us, watching the videos after the game on social media, on all the outlets, and it's just despicable the way some people comport themselves. It's just unacceptable. There's no human empathy. There's no regard for, there's no respect. I mean, there's just been basically an erosion of the human condition. I mean, really. And the phones have obviously amplified that. Everybody chasing clout. We know why. But, and I stand by everything that I said. But the one thing that I wanted to, circle back to very briefly, those aren't Knicks fans. Those are agitators. Like, do I really believe that? I can't prove this, but the video and there was a lot, but the one video, not the older, not Unk, not the OG, who was walking by himself and got accosted by a bunch of knuckleheads, but the other dude who was younger, he was throwing some punches back. Good for him. And they ripped the Spurs jersey off him. Do I really believe that group of people around him are devout Knicks fans who just left the game and are so disenchanted by the result that they can't help themselves? Not that that's an excuse. Not at all. No, I don't. I think that they're like, yo, Knicks are playing. All right, let's hit the street. Let's party. Let's smoke whatever we're going to smoke. Let's get banged up and let's cause trouble, with no regard for the law. So, no, I do not believe that most of those people, if not all of them, that were involved in all of those different videos, I'm pretty sure, again, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know, February 9th, the Knicks are playing the Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis. Do I think that those people are locked in? Do I think that they're watching Wally and Alan Hahn and Bill Pito post-game and Monica on MSG? No, I don't. Those are people who parachute. They're opportunists, and they are agitators, again. So I just want to make sure I clarify that. I don't think that those were like Knicks fans, like real Knicks fans who have been dying with this team forever. Wake up and hop on their phone. Hey, if you fell asleep, what did we do last night? What Brunson do? What Bridges do? What Cat do? I don't think that that's the group of people who are causing all these problems and really changing the way we are perceived. I mean, really. I mean, so, and a lot, I've seen, I know Steven Jackson was saying some stuff with, I'm not even saying he's wrong, with Matt Barnes, Up in Smoke. Good show. Shout out to those guys. And some other shows. And now the Knicks fan has been labeled as criminals. And I don't think that that's the case at all. At all. So just to clarify that.
And let me jump in here. Like, what I think is horrible is just, I've seen so many great displays of Knicks fandom this playoffs. Like, dude, the other night we're watching outside at this bar and a guy in a dump truck pulls up and he's watching the game on the outside screen with us. And it's just awesome. It's like, You see things like that. And it's like, that's the kind of stuff that should be highlighted. Knicks fans coming out, doing their thing, showing out in droves in a positive way.
Yeah.
But not this other crap. I mean, and that's what stinks, is just the negative will always get highlighted more than the positive. And yeah, I mean, it's got to stop. I mean, when I was out there, I didn't see anything like this. Like when I was up in MSG, I mean, after game 2, listen, the emotions were a little different.
Yep.
But obviously similar things have still happened. You know who I actually think I saw before the game, though?
Who?
I think I saw Anthony Donahue, and I just didn't recognize him at first.
Oh, you saw my guy Rice?
Yes, I believe I did. I certainly saw his billboard. Certainly saw that.
Oh, how sweet was that? The
dude,
Nike
that was
campaign.
crazy.
Times
dude.
Square.
It's insane.
I couldn't believe that, man. I still have to ask him if he got a little cheese for that, if he got paid for that. Hope he did.
I mean, I'm sure.
It's Nike. Nike's doing stuff for free.
No. Listen, Nike's got enough to toss you a little something. Think? At least a free pair of PEs.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's gear, maybe it's tickets, but I've known him so long, and I know what he's all about. He is the kind of guy. He's one of the few people that would do that for free. Well, then again, no. Listen. You put a picture of me with Unleashed free, I would actually do it as well. But he's not looking at the money. He's not looking. He's like, yo, I am a lifelong Knicks fan. He is the best Knicks fan that I know. I think he's the best Knicks fan in the world. And he's up there in Times Square. It's just it's surreal. I mean, it's the same guy who was bringing in literally rice balls trying to get an internship at 1050 back in the day with Wally the Keegan. That's how I met him. He was my driver when I was on crutches. He'd come pick me up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the station's like, dude, you got to go get BT. He can't walk. He can't take the train. So he would pick me up at my apartment in Manhattan every single morning to go do my show. And he would drive me home. And I would hop down the stairs and I would hop out into the car. He's the best. He's the absolute. And he was in the house the other night. He gets hooked up, though, as he should. All right. I want to mix it up just for a second. I do have a couple of baseball things, brief things for you. We've been meaning to do this here, Jay.
Yeah, let's do it.
We've been meaning to do this, and we've been so wrapped up in the day-to-day, minutia of the finals, understandably. We have not done it, and I've told you that I want to do this, and you keep forgetting. 82and0.com. So what's your best record?
All right, my best record so far is 73-9.
You're 73-9. Now, have you under 150 times played? It's got to be over.
Oh, under.
Oh, under.
Under 150. I'd say I'm probably around the 30, 40, 50 mark. Probably,
pretty good showing.
Probably 30 to 40.
All right, so your best mark is 73-9, one better than the Warriors back in the day. What's mine, 67 wins?
Yeah, I was going to say it was probably around that, 67, 68.
But I only did it twice, right? And I haven't touched it off the air, I swear. I don't even know, was it 82and0.com?
It's just 82-0.
See, I don't even know. Okay, all right, 82. I got to write 8 because I want to do 82-0.com. All right. So let's give it a couple of spins. Explain. Right. I don't want to assume everybody knows this. Can you briefly explain how it goes?
Let's briefly explain it. So 82and0, it's a little site right here. Yeah. What you do is it gives you a team and it gives you an era. And then you have to pick a player. You go point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. Yep. You have to pick a player for each position from those teams to build out a roster that can go 82-0.
Do you very, very well explained there? Look at this guy on point. Do you know, how does their engine work? I mean, has to be an element of subjectivity. I can have the best team. How do I? So how do you trust this thing?
The only thing I know about this is that if you get Golden State Warriors Wilt Chamberlain, you have a much higher chance of getting 82-0. So okay. I believe it's primarily done off of statistics. I don't know how much of it has to do with actual player compatibility. Like, let's say you have too small of a backcourt or something like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think it's mainly just statistics. And also, if you have an 82-0 team, when you've got an 82-0 team.
Okay, now you spin it, you get the team, and then if I remember correctly, you're able to stay with that team, spin it again for a different era with that team.
Exactly. You can spin it. You can spin a different era or a different team.
Oh, you can spin a different team as well. Okay.
Here we've got a comment real quick from the Shermanator. I got Jordan and Wilt the other day, 82-0. So
I need a screenshot.
If you get a combo like that, it'll be good. All right, let's start it up. Let's
go. Spin this thing. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Oh,
right, we're not going 82-0.
Rough.
All right, we're not going 82-0.
Memphis 2000s. However, what we can do is respin the team and hope for another 2000 squad, or we can pick from the 2000 Memphis Grizzlies.
How many times can I spin to change the team?
One. So it's risky.
You know what? I have to do it because even though Paul was Gasol, Raheem could score, nobody on this team's getting me to 82-0. Spin to a different team.
All right, let's see. All right, Denver 2000.
It's not going to be AI.
So you can go AI or Carmelo.
Yep. All right, put Carmelo with the small forward.
All right.
So we're not playing much defense. We already know that. We got Melo, but we're going to score small forward.
Golden State Warriors 70s.
Give me Rick Barry.
Here's where we just messed up.
Why?
We put Carmelo at the small forward, and that's the only position Rick Barry can play.
Okay, Nate Thurman was phenomenal. He may have been a little bit old here, but let's get Nate Dogg up there.
At the center or the power forward?
You got to put him at the power forward for me.
Yep. All right. And that's a smart play because usually you want to hold out for the better center.
Correct.
Now we just probably got the worst team you could get. the 2010s Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, Jesus.
Man, they're doing damage.
We might be
on
the
us.
8th seed. Forget about going 82-0. We're going to be an 8th seed here. 38 wins.
And so here, what we can do, and you hope now that you get Brooklyn Nets 2020s,
Is change the year?
Is change the era.
That's the
or we could take a Brooke Lopez.
Oh God Almighty! Change the era.
All right, let's try. And you hope for the 2020s or like the 60s. See, 80s screwed. Absolutely.
Hold on. I know.
Mike Newlin.
No, I know all these guys. Hang on. I wish the lettering. If I make this a little bit bigger, does that mess up what people see?
No. We can also make it full screen too.
Well, there you go. Jeez, help me out. All right. Super John Williamson was a really good scorer. All right, we're gonna go put him at the 2 spot.
John Williams.
Yeah, Super
John Williamson. Okay,
yep.
Cool.
All right. Spin it up. We need a center and a point, right?
Oh boy, we are getting this is brutal.
Oh God Almighty! All right, Bucks.
Milwaukee. We need a point guard and a center.
Well, I mean, Ricky. Yeah,
and we got the 80s Bucks with no respins.
80s. Jack Sikma was good for his era. Terry Cummings was a really good forward, but I've already got my forwards. Oh, you got to go Marcus Young. Put it. Oh no, he's not even a center. You would put him at the forward spot. Give me Sidney Moncrief. Sidney Moncrief. He was a good player from Arkansas.
All right, man, you're right. We might get like a 50 wins. I think we'll be in the 60s. Here we go. 2010s Miami Heat. Who are you taking?
What position do we need?
We need center, but you know who is able to play every position.
Can I just put LeBron at the center?
Yes.
Oh, you're allowed to do that?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was fairly rigid.
He's the only player I've seen so far who it's not rigid for.
All right, so we're gonna before you put it, I'm gonna guess my win total here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna say 58 wins.
All right,
LeBron.
I'm gonna go 61.
Go ahead.
59.
Hey, there you go.
Good guess. Good guess.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are good players, but
we'd be a 2 seed.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's more than the Knicks one. Knicks won what, 54 this year, 55?
Yeah.
All right, give me one more. Let me do another one here.
All right, let's do it.
Yo, come on.
Phoenix 70s.
Right, no. They were good. They were good. Right. Now, Connie Hawkins was older at this point. Can you get that full screen up there, Jay?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what part of the 70s. I mean, Gail Goodrich was more of a Laker, in my opinion. Van Arsdale was getting older. Walter Davis, Hubert's uncle, I believe, or dad, uncle. Let's see here. I mean, Charlie Scott. Oh God, I'm gonna have to go. Give me the Greyhound. Give me Walter Davis. He was a good 70s player.
Small forward or shooting guard.
Give me him at. There's probably give me him at the 2.
Okay. Yep. Good choice. All right. Lakers 90s. There we go. There we go.
Come on.
All right, here we go. Detroit 90s.
Isaiah at the point.
Even 90s Isaiah?
Oh, wait. Oh, that's true. Hold on.
So now the best player it says for the 90s Pistons is Grant Hill.
Yep. At the small forward.
Which even that, it doesn't. Are those prime Grant Hill's numbers? I could have sworn he
pretty much, man. Because listen, his best years were in Detroit. Yep. He was good with Orlando and Phoenix, but give me Grant, man. Grant was great. I'm not overthinking this.
Grant Hill at the small forward.
Yep. We need a power forward to point.
Knicks 80s.
Bernard was
but you could also put who at your power.
Doing.
Should we do it?
Yes, dude, of course.
Put Pat at the power forward. Yeah, man, what a front court. Grant Hill, Shaq, and Patrick. Hey. And now, oh, man. We don't get a great point guard. What I would do is respin.
Respin it. I agree. Respin.
All right. Do you want me to do the team or the era?
Give me the team because there's no other great point guard. Give me a team.
Sacramento 80s.
All right. Hold on. Yeah, Danny was good. Tisdale was different position. I
there's a hope you can do, but with the Kings, it could severely backfire.
I'm going with Otis Birdsong. He played a little one. Can we put Otis at the one?
The only player we can put at the one is Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge. I mean, I don't have a choice. I've got to do this, right?
That you could respin the era and hope you get the 60s Sacramento Kings where you can pick Oscar Robertson.
That would be the Kansas City Kings before they moved to Sacramento.
Yes, but it's a bit of a
word?
It's a bit of a risk.
Yeah, I mean, well, we could also get White Chocolate, right? And get some other guys.
Yep.
Respin the era.
All right.
Let me take a chance.
Let's take a gander. Boom.
Okay.
Oscar Robertson.
Let's go to Big O. 25.
All right. What do you think this team's gonna be?
All right. So we got Pat. We got Shaq. Shit.
Grant Hill.
This has to be a 71 win team. I'm going to say 71.
I'm going 65.
Nah, it's going to be higher than 65. Better be.
Boom!
Yes!
Boom!
I nailed it.
You are good with the guesses,
Listen,
man.
I am good with the numbers. I am. I'm good with. I've always been good. It's weird. I suck at math, but I'm always good at not always, but I'm always good at kind of picking a spread before it comes out. I got to do one more. I mean,
we gotta.
This is the basketball version of crack.
I
love this.
And once you get into, there's some other ones that are truly like Immaculate Grid is one where it's more guessing than it is this.
Evan was doing that. That was hot like a year or two ago.
Yep. It's still very fun. Sporkle quizzes are great.
Was it just baseball, the Immaculate Grid?
No, dude. Every sport they do. Basketball,
I remember Evan saying, you got to do this, man. And I never took the time to do it. All right. So let's spin it up. Let's go.
All right. So we've got first team.
So, wait, I'm sorry. So
here, honestly, let me refresh it.
Number one. Now, my high is 71.
71.
Yours is 73, although it has not been documented, so I guess we'll believe him. But we haven't really seen. See, at least there's evidence here.
On my phone.
Oh, you better get that screenshot, otherwise we're not buying it. All right. Well, now I don't want to start with the Hawks. All right, spin it up. Let's go.
All right.
Point guard, two guard, small forward. 1 sec. Power
Knicks
forward.
2000.
Okay, hold on. Center. All right. Knicks 2000s.
Yeah.
Give me a spin of a different Knicks era. I want to try to get Clyde or Reed or one of those guys.
All right.
Yes!
70s. Boom.
Yes.
Now, dude, whoa. Bob McAdoo put up numbers for the Knicks.
I know. He also had great years. I believe it was the Buffalo Braves, who are obviously no longer around. Let's not overthink this, dude. Clyde is the point guard. Let's go.
Clyde Frazier.
That's a good omen for tonight, too. Come on.
Detroit 2000.
All right. Maybe Grant again. Hang on.
Or Stack.
He got ripped, too. Yeah. See, I love Stack, but he wasn't a very efficient player. Didn't shoot well. No, I'm going to pass on Stack. I very well might go Grant Hill again. Hold on. Rip was a great shooter, but there's better two guards. Give me Grant Hill, small forward. I got Clyde Frazier. I got Grant Hill, who was all NBA. I'm off to a good start.
Oof.
90s. Where's my man Mully?
Oh, you want to take him?
Well, I got to see.
We've got Mitch Richmond. We've got Mully, Tim Hardaway.
I know the names. I know Spree.
But you think about it, you could also do a Warriors respin, end up in the 60s with Wilt Chamberlain, or the 10s or the 20s with Steph Curry or Kevin Durant.
I know I could, but there's also the risk that you get some shitty Warrior teams.
Yes, 100%.
But I've never been one to take the prudent path here. Let's spin that puppy. Spin it up. Let's go.
All right. Oh, wait. I forgot. We already spun era. Never mind. So we can risk the team. And risk the team.
It would be the 90s. Hold on, let me just think this out. I got Clyde, my point. I'm going to get some baseball stuff in a minute. Clyde's my point. Grant Hill's my 3.
Yeah.
So right now, I loved Mitch Richmond, but run TMC, also great with Sacramento. Oh man. I'm not going Hardaway, not going Jackson. C Webb was only there a minute. I can't go C Webb. If it's like the Bullets, I'd go C Webb maybe. Certainly the Kings, I'd go see Webb. How do I pass up? But Mully was drafted 85, 86. Dream Team. Well, Dream Team was 92.
Yeah.
So this is 90 or 90s, but he was getting, he was 7-8 years in. Give me Mullen. Come on, man. It's Mully. Look it up. Flatbush's finest. Let's
There
go.
we go.
Now we got Mully at the 2 or the 3?
Two at the 2. Boom.
Let's
Milwaukee
go.
Bucks 2010s.
Giannis.
All right. Center, power
Giannis.
forward.
Ooh. Now, do
Probably-
I have any other respins so I know?
You have a respin on the team.
All right. So I got Clyde, I got Mully, I got Grant Hill, and I could have Giannis. Well, I'm going to have you. Hold on. If I put Giannis at the power forward. Oh, dude, give me Giannis. I mean, stop. What are we doing
At
here?
the power forward.
Yeah, there's probably a few more. Well, there's really a dearth of great centers, but
Yeah.
I'm going to take my chance. Let's go. Let it ride. Let's go.
All right.
Give me another spin.
Giannis,
We got to get a
power
center.
forward.
Come on, got to get a center.
Lakers
Wilt.
60s.
We got Wilt.
All right.
Let's
This
go.
is close. This
Hold
is the
on.
closest I think I've ever seen it.
78 or 79 wins. Let's
All right.
go.
Oh, what?
That is
What?
not.
That is crazy.
I don't believe this. I'm no.
Okay, what I
Wow.
think attributed to this, it's
Mullen?
22 things. Mullen and 2010s Giannis Antetokounmpo, as opposed to the whole scope of the 2020s. Because what it does is it takes his whole stats from the 2010s, which goes from, Giannis.
I
to
got you.
2030.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it.
Hey, man. All right, listen. All I know is
71 and 11.
so now that's up to you to track this. We'll do this. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do it 3 times every day, but we got to do this at least once. And we got to get a baseball version out here.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's 100% like a lineup version.
Whatever it is. We got to do something with baseball.
162 and 0.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
I feel
All
like
right.
it wouldn't even be called that.
I like that. I do like that. That is fun. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get a couple of the chats up here. What? Mully killed me. Fook your couch. Yeah,
Oh.
listen. First, it's not Mullins. It's not the kid from UConn. It's Chris Mullin. No.
Baylor Mullins.
We're not gonna pluralize that. That's Mully. I mean,
Oh,
come on,
this is
flat top.
an interesting NBA history lesson here. Wilt 0 blocks per game. They didn't count
they
him
didn't.
yet when he was a player.
Yeah, and by the
Um,
way, little trivia. Do you know the first year? I think I asked you this once. The first year the 3-point shot was introduced.
Oh, was it 19?
Come on, Jay.
This is gonna
Let's see the retention skill.
1982.
79. Close
Oh,
enough.
Close.
Do you know who hit the first one? It was a Celtic.
Oh, I should know this. It's bad. Okay. This is gonna be a goofy guess.
Go ahead.
Cedric Maxwell.
Cornbread, not a bad guess. No, it was Chris Ford.
Okay, Chris
Their old
Ford. Yep.
coach. You know.
Yes.
He hit the first one. I think it was against the Clippers, I think. All right. I don't believe that they started recording steals and assists or steals. I think steals was 76. I think. And by the way, do we really trust all of these numbers?
No,
I mean, we got
especially the
some guy
older
like
ones.
this.
I don't.
You probably got some dude with glasses like me, 30 years old. They're like, oh, who is it? It's just there. I mean, I don't know. These numbers are, but right.
I always think the steal numbers look inflated from back in the day. Like you have like some dudes who like in the 60s and 70s were averaging like 2 to 3 steals a game, and you're just like,
Yeah, I know.
no, man, I don't
Come
know.
on. You tell me Oscar Robertson wasn't picking pockets?
No, he probably. I guess certainly though, if you were a better player, it was probably easier to get a steal from one of these dudes because all you had to do was really like swing your arm out.
Yeah, but I also think about the way they played the game and think about some of that old grainy footage, right?
Yeah.
You got the little white guy dribbling with his head down, dribbling around, right? I know players back then took fewer chances, like you weren't yo-yoing, you weren't doing no looks. So the degree of difficulty was much lower, which theoretically should tie into fewer mistakes and fewer opportunities to get steals.
No, you know
what I mean? Maybe.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at
He
it.
asked this question last time.
Oh.
But it should only be Avery asked it. While you guys are on this topic, what are both of your all-time NBA starting fives? The generational gap between the two of you will make this interesting.
Okay, let's do it.
But
Yep,
I
go
want to
ahead.
do only players we've seen play.
Fair enough. Absolutely.
I think that makes it very interesting
I agree
because
with that.
my list will be, it'll be I've kind of got it.
Okay, well, here's how we'll do it, right? So rather than me giving 5, I'll let you get the first shot here too. You're on the tee box first. So you pick your point guard. I pick my point guard.
All
You
right,
pick
Curry.
your 2 guard. Boom, boom, boom.
Curry.
All right. So Steph Curry.
Oh, that's so hard. Wait.
What?
And it has to be a natural 2 guard, right? Like I can't say LeBron
Yeah.
at my 2 guard and
No,
then Kevin Durant at my
it's
small.
not a-
Okay.
No, come on, stop. All right. So, I mean, to me, it's either Magic or Curry.
Yep. Who are you going?
I'm going to go with Magic.
Okay.
But I obviously respect the Curry pull, and I get it. Like a lot of these things I could push back with great vigor, even though it's subjective. I'm not even wasting anybody's time. I mean, you put Curry, you're a younger fan, you put Curry, I get it. I got Magic. Now, so we'll rotate. Now I'll go shooting guard first, and then you'll take small forward.
All right.
Shooting guard, we got MJ.
All right.
Oh, I like my
this
team.
is tough, and I need some guidance here because
I
only watched Kobe legit that last season. That was the only time I saw him.
Okay.
And so other than that, I think the best shooting guard I've seen in my life, and it's crazy, I'm going to say it.
Don't say James Harden.
Oh, God, it is.
Stop.
It's sad. It's sad as a modern NBA fan, but and maybe in a few years I could be like, it's Ant Edwards or something like that. But yeah, I mean,
why not now? Why not now, friend? It's an early.
I think Harden's better than Ant-Man.
Who would you rather have? Who would you? Yeah, I mean, it's the numbers are better. Game 7. Who would you rather have? Harden,
Ant-Man, Ant-Man.
Exactly.
All right, Ant-Man, but I'm taking Harden. Listen, Harden has just done some great things. Not playoff wise, but I can't deny what I've seen in my time watching ball.
I can't deny it. I'm a true rider.
Oh, small forward. This is interesting.
This is your turn now.
Easy. I mean, LeBron. If that's the position that I can put, I'll put him at small forward.
Now, I get that. I believe that we can do LeBron at small forward or power forward.
Okay, but Durant could also be small forward or power forward.
Fair enough.
Correct. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This is really hard. I'm going to talk through this here. All right. So
I don't even know.
Here's the thing. I mean, as much as LeBron annoys me sometimes, but I mean, he's gonna have to be on my list here. But if I put him on, either Duncan or Dirk, is getting overlooked.
Yep.
And Dirk was a prototype for those European bigs coming in, shooting bombs, 1 foot fallaways, champion, small forward, shoots. I got to go LeBron James. Yep. I mean, I can't overthink this here. I got to go LeBron. I got to. All right, my turn, right? Power forward?
Yeah.
Now, but then again, I could probably push Duncan to the 5, but then that'll omit Shaq.
Yes.
So I could do that, but I'm not. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I've got to squeeze Dirk. He's maybe my first guy off the bench.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got to go Timmy D. I mean, who are we kidding here? It's Tim Duncan. What are we doing? Okay.
All right.
What do you got?
Dude, this is bad. Who I'm debating between Giannis or Kevin Durant. And I think I've got to go.
You're not going with Tim. Oh, you didn't see Duncan.
I didn't see Duncan. No, I think I'm going to go Kevin. I'm going to go Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
I think Giannis at the height of his peak was maybe a more wildly insane, never before seen dominant force, especially in the paint.
Yep.
Kevin Durant is the definition of prolonged excellence at scoring.
I listen, Kevin Durant's one of the best scorers I've ever seen and I've been watching for a much longer time than you. He is just phenomenal. All right, you going KD at center. All right.
Easy.
It's not easy.
For me, it's easy. For me, it's
You got to go Jokic.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going. Dude, we're vibing on the NBA stuff, man. We can do some great stuff here with this. All right, Jokic. I'm just running through the list here, and I love him, but I mean, talk about Shaq.
Yeah.
I saw Kareem, but he was older. But that doesn't really matter. I mean, the only rule was we had to have seen them play.
And that's why I want to change my answer to Kobe, because people are, and I've got some chats clouding me saying, if you've seen Kobe once, you can give it to him. But I don't feel right doing that.
Hold on a second. I'm going to, now that Kareem is somebody that I've always said is a top 3 player.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's always been Michael Jordan, Kareem, 1, 2. And of course, you could debate that. I get that. But 6 championships, six MVPs, most points until it was broken. We didn't even consider, and he was phenomenal, even though he was a little whacked out. Karl Malone. I mean,
for the power forward. I mean,
I didn't even mention his name. Like I mentioned, I at least mentioned Dirk, but that's how great Duncan was. So now
Duncan's just got the chips to really back his
and efficient. The center. As much as I've always elevated Kareem, and he is, for me, one of the 3 best players of all time, this guy I saw up close and personal, there's Patrick. I think I might have to go Hakeem.
Wow.
Hakeem Olajuwon was, and I saw vintage Hakeem. I saw old, broken, he was never really that hurt, but I saw aging. I'm going to go Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm going to go Hakeem.
Wow. And did you see Hakeem at the height of his powers?
Yes. Yeah. Beat the Knicks in 94. Yeah. Back-to-back MVPs, back-to-back champions. Now Jordan was out, but I mean, Hakeem I don't know how anybody can test Hakeem.
He's one of the guys I think I need to delve deeper into the videos and the highlights of, because I mean, his name rings like a goddamn bell.
It does.
I think not the casual, but the average NBA fan they know, listen, the dude's great, but they don't know, I don't think, the extent. That's where I gotta take it to.
I'm gonna extend this because this is so good. We're each gonna go 3 guys off the bench, independent of position.
Oh,
all right. Still had to have seen them play.
This is fun. All right.
Still had to have seen them play. By the way, Hakeem, when he was playing in college, and Patrick beat him for the championship in 83 maybe, but he was Hakeem.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know. You probably didn't even know that. Yeah.
No.
And then Hakeem. And the thing that made him so special is that, Patrick growing up in Jamaica didn't really start playing basketball until a little bit later. Mm-hmm. And I think even though he was phenomenal, you saw that. Didn't have great hands, was a little bit of a sloppy passer. Hakeem was, and I know Patrick played some soccer as well. Hakeem was a soccer player. So when you and a great one. So when you think about the dream shake and the footwork.
Yep.
I mean, the funny thing is, we talk about Brunson, to bring it back full circle to tonight in the series for a second. I've never seen anybody better at their footwork and angles and spatial awareness and manipulation and all that stuff than Brunson. But if I had to say who was number 2, I think it's Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah.
He was.
His up and under is crazy.
He was a surgeon, bro. All right, 3 guys off the bench.
All right, my first is a pick I had earlier, Giannis. I'm putting Giannis as my first guy off the bench.
You got Giannis. Okay. All right.
It's tough. Am I going to take one of my boys?
I know.
I'm just am I going to take one of my boys? I kind of feel like I have to.
All right. I got a name for you that I guaranteed you never saw him play, so you wouldn't say these names anyway, but I don't think this name would show up in the chat. But when I do this stuff, I try to construct a team. I try to find some synergy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yep.
Dennis Rodman.
Ooh.
Dennis Rodman coming off my bench and getting every rebound and giving the outlet to Magic and us running wild. I got Rodman coming off my bench.
Oh, that's a great pull.
Yeah, I thought you might like that. Rodman.
I just like it because it's not, it's not the superstar take, but it is the guy who's going to win you the game.
Try to build a team here, young buck. All right, now it's my turn, right? I go off the bench?
Yeah, go. Oh, Rodman was your pick for center. No.
Hakeem was.
Oh, Rodman was your
my bench.
First pick off the bench.
You had Jokic, and we'll run through this again after.
Okay, cool.
And then I want you guys to tell us who you think has the better team, all right?
And then we got to go head coach, too.
Okay, yeah.
Fair enough. I'm riding with one of my guys for that, 100%.
Before you know, we're going to have a 15-man roster. This is so much fun. We won't. So I do want to do those baseball items before we bounce. Get some chats as well. So I've got Rodman. You've got Giannis. Now I'm going to my bench. Now I just need a pure scorer. And now I go to my boy KD, who I was once embroiled with in a massive Twitter feud. Ridiculous.
All right.
But
Great.
Durant.
Oh, we need another guard, but
yeah,
you know who I'm gonna go. I want some defense. I want some prime defense. I want some balling. I'm going Kawhi Leonard.
Ooh, that's a good one. And I know
it's not always the most popular pick, but that guy in his peak was Kawhi Leonard. Enough said.
Like, still is, but I know. Yep.
Like he still is a bit, but just like, when he was arguably the best player in the NBA, dude, that guy was different.
I agree. All right. So I got a sniper off the bench, and obviously more than that in KD. I've got my rebounder, my defender in Rodman. I've got Hakeem. I got Duncan. Got LeBron. I think I need somebody else to push the ball up.
Okay.
I think this will surprise you as well. I'm going to go peak Jason Kidd.
Wow.
Hey, Kidd, man. Triple-double, bro. 6'4", strong. I'm going J. Kidd.
Oh, all right. And now I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. I kind of want like a real great big man. Oh, gosh. And honestly, the 2010s and the 2020s, well, they've had really good big men. They've had very injury-prone big men. I feel like that's been – I'm going to go with the guy. And
time out. Before you say it, have you given Wemby any thought?
I have. Oh, okay, I've given Wemby a decent amount of thought.
All right. I like to.
You might even take Wemby over the guy I'm going to say.
All right.
Oh, I don't know how I'm feeling it because at a certain point, he had my favorite play style in the league. He was dominant on the offensive end, defensive end.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Kevin Garnett.
No.
Okay.
No. He's Kevin Garnett. Since he played a little later, I did see a couple of those like end of the bench screaming at Karl Anthony Towns seasons. He was a nut.
He was no joke, man.
This is crazy. I'm gonna go AD. I'm gonna go Anthony Davis. I'm sorry. I don't know. That might throw you off a bit, dude.
I've seen it all. I'm surprised, but it's your team.
At his peak, he was that guy. If we're going players at their peak, now if we're talking about the whole Picasso, I don't know if I'd go Anthony Davis. But if we're talking about these players at their best,
sure,
I feel like that's kind of what we're doing. I'm going AD.
All right, respect it. All right, now let's do the head coach.
Whose turn Anthony Davis got hurt already with that pick.
Yep. Yeah, he pulled his hamstring running up to the podium because he was drafted with this fictitious setup here. I'm curious who your head coach is because your era. I mean, Popovich,
Eric Spoelstra. I kind of want to take a homer pick though, just for the hell of it.
Okay.
I want to say Brad Stevens.
I want to say Brad Stevens. What are we doing here, man? Come on. Brad Stevens.
He was a great coach. He was a great coach.
I know he was, but Brad Stevens.
Dude, all right. Listen, I just think there are three obvious answers. You've got Steve Kerr, you've got Popovich, and you've got Eric Spoelstra. I'm going Brad Stevens. That's going to be my head coach.
All right, man. All right. And I will raise and I will see you and all that other stuff. Give me Pat Riley.
Oh, no.
Riley,
no.
Man.
All right. So now let's go through the squad.
So let's do this now. So my point guard, guys, we want the verdict in the chat here. My point guard, Magic. Yours is Steph.
Yep.
Okay. Shooting guard, no contest. MJ versus Harden. I've got MJ. Young Bucks got Harden. Small forward, we both have LeBron. I've got Duncan as my 4. You've got Kevin Durant. I've got Hakeem as my center. You've got Jokic. And then on my bench, I've got Rodman, Durant, and J. Kidd. You have an interesting bench. Giannis, Kawhi, great two. People forget. I mean, maybe not forget, but amazing two-way player. And Anthony Davis. And you got Brad Stevens for some reason. I've got Pat Riley. All right, man. I'll tell you, I
threw up the poll, so let's see what the fans think. Drop a 1 for BT, a 2 for me.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, listen, I think my squad as a whole all around is a great bucket-getting roster. You listen, BT wins it easy.
Yeah, I think it's me, dude. I mean, come on.
You have a greater, what's the word?
What
Database of players to pick from.
That's true.
But trust, I also threw in some picks right there that are just off of personal favorites rather.
Well, then that's your fault. I mean, if you want to build the roster out of sentiment, I'm going to build the roster just to kick that sentiment all over the court. I mean, I will happily go sentiment. Go for it. I'm here to win, J-Rod.
Listen, and honestly, I'll stand by. He's not a historically great NBA coach.
Yeah,
but dude, I think at his time, Brad Stevens was as good as anybody at coaching in the league. I mean, bring him back. Bring him back.
You don't like Missoula?
I like Missoula. I like Missoula's personality much better.
Yeah.
And he's just hilarious.
Yeah.
I think Brad Stevens was much more buttoned up as a coach.
Very good coach.
And his game plans were great.
Very good. I mean, great at Butler too.
Yeah.
Great at Butler.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, if he won that chip, Avery, I'll vote for Jared just so this isn't unanimous.
Yeah, come on. Jay, anytime we do this, and I certainly respect your opinion, you got to get up early to beat me with this stuff, man.
I know.
I'm a master with this. I've been doing this my whole life.
And because that's what I mean. I thought I was gonna be far and away better than you at the 82-0 game. So far, I think you're better than me, dude.
Yeah, well, I got the higher score. Small sample. Doesn't mean you can't do a little studying and try to catch.
Oh, no. And that game is luck. 82-0 is mainly luck. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be an NBA savant.
No, I
know.
Agree
let's pick Shaq. Let's pick Wilt. Let's pick LeBron. It's about
but you know what you've got to be. You've got to know. You got to know a couple of things. You've got to know when to respin.
Yeah,
which means you've got to have deep knowledge of the NBA, and you've also got to know. Also, this encompasses deep knowledge of the NBA. Which positions have more great players?
See, this is
to me that's
crazy
important
to me.
in this game. Yep.
One of our fans went 82-0.
Joe Johnson.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like a clear outlier where, dang, okay, but I'm telling you, the 60s Warriors Wilt Chamberlain heals a lot just because it's like when you have a dude who averaged 40 points a game. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, and Joe Johnson he was a bucket getter, man. Big, strong, tough, so good. But that's interesting. I didn't take Bird. I got to be honest with you. I forgot about Bird for a second, and I always defend Bird. Not that Bird needs to be defended. It's phenomenal.
Although
man, if I had to do this again.
Would you take him over LeBron?
I think I'd punt and I'd put LeBron on the bench, or at least put Bird on the bench. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Forgetting Bird is a little.
Oh, that is a little sloppy on my part there. I still like my prospects here, but not intentional. Bird. I'm sorry about that. Tom Chambers. What are we doing here? All right. So, a couple of baseball items, really quick, really quick. Why the hell does Garrett Cole continue to forget to cover first base? I mean, it happened in the World Series, and it happened again last night. A pretty big spot. Goldschmidt made a great play. Yanks up 2-1, bases juiced, 2 out. And, you see the isolated shot. There's about a good beat and a half where he just doesn't really move. Now, I understand, maybe he's not in the right frame of mind, but, because he missed so much time. But he's in his mid-30s, been playing baseball a long time. Get over, cover the base. It's almost like it's becoming like a mental block here. It's weird. So that's got to resolve itself soon. So I don't need to spend a lot of time on that. What do you do? Scream and shout at Garrett Cole for not covering the base? Just cover the base, dude. Just cover the bag. All right, number one. Number two. Got 2 little Yankee items here. I would give you, like, if the Mets would have followed up last night, Benj, a 5-hit game. Mets playing a little bit better. Try to stabilize. And then your ace goes out, or your alleged ace goes out. They get smacked, and the offense doesn't score. So it's not that I'm not looking to talk Mets. I'm not going to waste time on the Mets until they show a little bit more consistency. I'm just not going to do it. I like Ewing. I like Benj. I know that Lindor was running about 90% in the outfield last night. I was going to do a week of baseball activities. We'll see where that. I also know that Juan Soto is mired in a pretty, prolonged slump here. It's baseball, so it's going to happen, but he's down to about 270 something here. Mets don't score a run last night. Their ace gets knocked around. I mean, I don't even know if it was fully verified, but I saw a report like or a story or whatever last week. You know, Peralta wants like the same money that Max Fried got. Are you insane, dude? There's no way in hell nobody's doing that because he's not as good as Max Fried, number one. But I would like, you know, if the Mets, you know, get this thing going, I'll start talking Mets a little bit more. I'm not trying to ignore them. There's just not a whole lot to talk about right now with the New York Mets. It's early, and so I'm not going to go nuts here. I don't know. Maybe Spencer Jones 2.0 is ready to start hitting some bombs. I mean, last night, that ball that he hit to dead center that went 433 or 443 in the bushes in Cleveland was just a very, on the major league level, a very quick look at what he's been doing in the minors basically since he got drafted. Now, he's got a lot of holes in his swing. It's a small sample. It's always interesting when somebody, you know, even though he strikes out a lot in the minors as well, dominates a lower level or the minors, gets called up, looks overwhelmed, goes back to the minors, does well in the minors, and then comes back up with a better plan, kind of closes up a hole. You know, he's got a long swing. He's making more contact. That's interesting. Was he 6 for 12, a double, 3 ribby since he got back, and 4 strikeouts, which is just about 33% strikeout rate, which is obviously high, but not as high as it's been usually for him. And also 3 of the 4 came in one game. So I find that I'm watching, obviously. Hopeful is strong because I don't want to flip that easy. You strike out that much at every level, you're just a strikeout guy. But I am, hopeful, or at least, intrigued is the bet. Intrigued by his early return and what appears to be a little bit of a better approach and a more buttoned up approach. That's Spencer Jones. It's only a couple of games. Can't go nuts. And by the way, I'm still really worried about Aaron Judge. I really am. We talked about this. Everybody, just because he avoided the worst case, at least for now, the thoracic thing, the outlet syndrome, TOS, I am on the record. I do not believe, I hope, but I do not believe that he is necessarily out of the woods. Just based on the time frame that they gave, that's when they're going to re-examine him and stuff him back in the tube and see where the imaging is. So, you guys could be beholden to that timeline, which was definitely more promising than what it would have been if it was thoracic outlet syndrome. Obviously, David Cohn went through that. Others, like, you're done. Season's over. I don't even know that that's fully ruled out down the road. I pray for it is for him, but I am not sitting here. What the hell is Mad Dog doing? Jeez, he is out of his mind. I am not sitting here saying, oh, Aaron Judge will be back in 5 weeks, because number one, you got to get the new imaging, and then you got to go play. And when you miss that much time, I'm not saying you need 2 weeks in the minors, and you got to go through the different checkpoints of the rehabilitation. I am still, I'm rooting for him. I'm praying that it happens, but I am not saying that Aaron Judge is a lock to come back. And then even a step further, or at least a lock to come back when many of you think he might. And then off of that, I'm not saying that he is a lock to come back and still be Aaron Judge. Think about everything that's encompassed within a swing. Think about where that is. There's a lot going on in there. So hopefully. But again, Spencer Jones looks better. All right. The problem is Volpe. He is just lost. He's lost. I just can't defend him anymore, man. I'm sorry. Since he hit that home run, his only one since this year, he is 3 for 30. He's 3 for 30. And, last night, again, the play at shortstop, I know the ball, or I'm sure the ball had a little bit of spin on it. I get that. He tried to catch it off to the side. You got to box that thing up. It's just we know his arm, over the weekend against the Red Sox, the relay plate, the plate, up the line, had no juice, had no velo. I don't know how anybody, and I have been an Anthony Volpe supporter and an Anthony Volpe believer. I can no longer support him. And based on what he's done as a player, I can no longer believe in his, this ceiling that we're hoping magically appears. Now, what I still will be, I will always be an Anthony Volpe fan, meaning I'm rooting for him. But at this point, I just want to look up his stats for a second. At this point, I don't know how you don't, if you were with me, it's like, hey, maybe this is the year, blah, blah, blah. And even I wasn't really sure about that either. But the little flicker that he showed early, That's been doused out. I mean, again, 3 for 30. I don't know how anybody at this stage believes he's going to be, I mean, forget about being great, just an above average, highly competent major league shortstop. The more and more you think about this, and I hate to say it, but his fate very well might be tied into eventually going to play second base for a small market because he's not a shortstop. The arm is awful. And we've known that, right? I mean, look at these stats. My God. I mean, come on, man. We're talking about basically 500 games he's played. And his career average is 221. His career on base percentage is 284. His career OPS is 659. He strikes out a ton, 150 times last year, 156 the time before that, 167 as a rookie. The power, which flashed early. All right, hey, 21 home runs as a rookie. Yeah, he hit 209. He'll figure things out. Gold glove. Can run. But his greatest asset is the speed. And when you're not on base, you can't run. You may run like Hayes, but you hit like shit. Like that's, if you know the movie Major League, that's where we're at. I just want to see his Savant page real quick. Volpe Savant. I mean, it's a shame, man. And one thing I was saying, even last year, because I'm not a blind supporter, I'm not a blind believer. I really do think that he was just simply overdrafted. That's the bottom line. He was overdrafted. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. There's no red. It's all blue and like anemically blue. His barrel rate, I'm gonna geek out. His barrel rate's 4.4%. He's in the 4th percentile in barrel rate. His expected batting average, he's in the 9% rate. It's just everywhere you look, it's just not good. I don't see a change in approach. And I don't know how you keep doing this. And you're at the point now where, you've got to really look into trading him. Once Lombard, if Lombard demonstrates, the next month or so, because he's played better, more pop, ball starting to fall, and he's going to be the starting shortstop next year. I think he's going to play there this year. I really do. But I almost start to think, now this works two ways. The more you play, the more you're exposed. I think the Yankees are showcasing him. I think the Yankees are ready to move on. I really do. I don't know how they could believe in him. I hate that I have to say that. Because I love these stories, man. 15 miles from where I'm sitting right now, it's where he went to high school, man. Yankee fan growing up. Like almost all the kids I know in town. Imagine that kid going to a great one, Del Barton, a great local private high school, and not only being amazing, Team USA and all that stuff, being drafted in the first round and turning down a full ride with his buddy Leiter from high school to go to Vanderbilt. And how is that not an amazing story? Every checkpoint it's a dream until it becomes a nightmare when it doesn't work. So he is just mired in a massive funk. If there were other extended periods of evidence that this wasn't just, unless he missed a lot of the season, he's trying to get his timing down, but you can't lean on that. I'm not leaning on that. You could choose to. The problem is anything that connects to like being pro Volpe is based on theory and hope. Nothing really tangible. All of the numbers in a sport that is at times, sometimes too much driven by numbers, but still, obviously numbers matter. In a sport that is largely determined by numbers, let alone the eyes, neither one meshes. Neither one checks out right now. So they're either running him out there to have him hopefully, run into a couple of bombs, 5-game hit streak, whatever it might be, to trade him, or they're nuts in terms of thinking that he's going to suddenly morph into a player counter to what he has demonstrated basically from day one. And that is a low contact, high strikeout, low average, low on base problem. That's the reality. You know what I mean, J-Rod? And
yeah, big time. Volpe sold me on my parlay yesterday.
Yeah.
It was Jazz get a hit, Goldschmidt get a hit, Ryan McMahon get a hit, and Volpe get a hit.
Matt, oh my God.
And granted, after I did it, I was like,
Man.
dude, you're a bot. I was like, I was just thinking to myself, I was like, why would I bet? Like, that was just, not smart.
Well, what'd you put down? $5?
Yeah. It was
$5 to win
like,
what?
It was like 50.
All right.
55. So not bad. I mean, listen, you'll take it. And it almost came to fruition. Darn Volpe.
I mean, I would not bet much on Volpe at this point at all. I really wouldn't. I'm just looking at some of the chats. What is the final verdict in the game that you and I just played?
Oh man,
BT by a mile, BT by a million,
BT by, and I think I got one sympathy vote.
That's a mercy vote right there, Jay.
Yeah, so it's like 100%.
Yeah, what is this here?
Wait and see.
Admittedly, I saw this. I didn't really dive into it in terms of the details. Maybe I should. Anybody follow the Scott Erickson, former pitcher? Royce Clayton, former shortstop, testified against him. Erickson, such a piece of whatever. I don't know what that is. I saw.
Sad. Oh, it's like
I'll be honest,
sad.
dude. Like I'm not gonna front here. I've seen, on whether it's CBSSports.com, ESPN.com, social media. I've seen Erickson in a courtroom testifying. I don't really know what it's about.
It's like pretty.
Can you give me the quick?
Yeah, he just killed somebody. He killed like 2 kids in like a car accident. Man.
Scott Erickson did?
Yeah.
No, but what does that have to do with Royce Clayton?
During the 4th week. Oh, let's see that. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm talking about here. Clayton Erickson. Just let me know what this is about.
He testified in this trial
about
former league player in the wrongful death and the socially convicted. He testified and said, "Oh, wait. Okay, so this is interesting. So it's not actually either of them did it. They're testifying against somebody else."
Okay.
Took the stand against Rebecca Grossman. So that's who they're saying, caused the hit and run. And Clayton testified that the pitcher told him he saw the woman.
Oh,
okay. Interesting.
All right. I don't even want to give any comment because something like that, I want to make sure I could dive into that. It's been old Knicks. It's been, a little baseball, and not to minimize that story or trivialize that story. That's real life stuff. I don't want to just throw something out there and regret it. I want to educate myself on that a little bit here. J-Rod, we need footage from Borelli's tonight. Put on those Meta glasses and let's go.
Imagine if I pulled. Do you know what Meta glasses are?
No. What are they?
Do you see these videos on Instagram or TikTok or whatever? And it's like a camera, but it's from the perspective of the person's glasses.
Okay.
And they're basically just glasses with a camera lens installed in them.
Oh, do you have them?
No, I'm not that much of a freak.
I was gonna say,
they are great for content creation, and the people who have been using them to make videos have absolutely blown up.
They crushed.
I just kind of have an issue going in public with cameras filming people.
Nah, man, no,
that's not me. That's not me. Especially working like a retail job.
Yep.
I'm not huge into that.
I got you, man. Were you?
But I definitely will be taking videos tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do too. No, J-Rod's going to be all over it. So, were you ever into comic books when you were young?
A couple. I like the Batman ones a decent amount, but I wasn't like a big collector. Like I actually like reading, reading them and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I didn't have a huge collection, but I did enjoy reading them.
Okay, I was never into them. Like I would thumb through them. I remember when I was really young, and I always read the newspaper at a very early age. And Sunday, I would, always do all the sports and then get to the comics, right? Mm-hmm. Beetle Bailey, good God, Family Circus, I think. Spider-Man was my favorite one, and Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, right? Number one. Yeah, yeah. I used to walk around. My mom says I used to walk around that like when I was 3 years old. Matter of fact, I always had a picture of this. Back in the 70s, I guess the belts were like really thick and very fat, like the big buckles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like with the platform shoes and like the wide pants, the bell bottoms. And my dad evidently had a lot of those fat belts. So what I would do is, because you couldn't just, hey, Amazon's, get my kid a Batman mask. You had to create everything, right?
Yeah.
So I would take, when he was at work, I would take his belts and I would strap them together, right? And then I would lasso it around the top of the banister leading up to where our bedrooms were. And this was actually Batman, but even though I love Spider-Man, remember in the old Batman, he would like walk up the building with Robin, and the angle and the cinematography is just so corny and so antiquated that that they're just inverting the camera. Anyway, I would do that, and I would like climb. Now, I mean, really, I was actually not that I was that heavy. I was young, but like all my weight was leaning backwards. Like I didn't know any better.
You didn't pull down the banister.
I didn't, but I would do that. So I loved Spidey. I loved Aquaman. I loved Captain America, Hall of Justice. I loved all that stuff, right? But I wasn't a comic book per se consumer. Like I might get a couple, half read it through. I wasn't looking to make money or collectibles. Yeah, I didn't even really do that with baseball cards. I just wanted them to read the stats and get a couple of the Yankees and Mets, right? So anyway, back in the day, there were all these wild things that you can order, like from comics. Sea monkeys. That you put in a little water. I don't know if it was human. I don't know what they're not human, but I don't know if it was real. I don't know what it was, dude.
Yeah, those are always the sea monkeys are always touch and go.
But they look cool, and I was so intrigued. It seemed so futuristic. And they had X-ray vision glasses.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
And I just remember thinking, I'm like, dude, if I get those, am I going to be able to, put them to use? Around? Yeah. And I never ordered them, but I can't imagine that the comics still have all those
like ads and stuff like that.
I can't imagine they do.
No. Now comics are very they're almost. I don't know. They're so important to people. Like
I know.
People geek out over comics now. Like even people my age or a little older than me, like they go insane for it. So it's like, a lot of the comics now are just like, it's like a book almost. Like there's no ads or anything in it.
No, I know. That's true. That's absolutely true. And I remember when they started doing Star Wars stuff. That happened. Like, I think those came out when I was kind of young. So in my mind, I'm just thinking, Han, Luke, the Wookiees, Princess Leia, the Millennium Falcon, all the Dagobah system, the Hoth with the snow. And then all of a sudden, Obi-Wan, all this crazy shit started coming out. I'm like, I don't even know what version of Star Wars this is. But it's cool. Like the illustrations were awesome.
Yeah.
Darth Vader looked so badass.
When you were a kid, did they have books? Like choose your own adventure books where they'd have like different outcomes on different pages.
Yes.
And then it'd be like, okay, so they did have that.
Not when I was a kid. No. When I reading to my kids when they were young.
Okay. I was like, when you were a kid, they didn't have that.
No. Like,
it
starts here and then it was like, not Joey? Somebody make a decision, and then based on the decision that you make, it takes you to a
different page. Those were my favorites, dude. I like as a kid, that was like my favorite kind of stuff. Like there'd be like WWE ones, and it's like, do you want to take him off the turnbuckle or hit him with a steel chair? They were sick, dude. There were some that were so sick.
I feel like it was cool. What would Danny do?
There's some like those. Yeah, absolutely.
Those were good.
It wasn't, and he's a good sports. Mike Lupica.
No, Mike Lupica.
He was like the sports author. There was like another guy who he kind of did it similarly, but it was with the choose your adventure kind of.
Lupica wrote a couple of books. I know that. Yep. All right, what else we got here? I think that's about it, man. It's a wrap. Any chats we got to get in before we say?
Let's see. I'm trying to find like a good just like positive Knicks chat. Oh, you know what? Here's like a great chat from the beginning.
Okay.
Love your show. Thank your wife for me. She gave me the link to follow you.
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
It's a team effort out here, that's for sure. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I will tell her.
Volpe needs to be traded to the Long Island Ducks.
Let's not get disrespectful. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Show some love.
But the crazy thing is, I'm not even
friend of the show, Anthony Volpe.
I don't even know if he'd hit 300 there. I don't know.
Listen, honestly, I think because of your show, or just, dude, there's something about Volpe that just, it makes you want to kind of root for the guy. Like, I'm still rooting for his ass.
Me too.
Dude,
no, me too, Jay. But I can't ignore the evidence. I mean, that play last night,
brutal. He fell on his butt.
I know the play last night, the throw over the weekend on the relay.
Oh boy.
Jeez, man. I mean, 3 for 30 funk. Jeez. I'm going to come in with no voice tomorrow. I'm already losing mic because we were cheering for my niece yesterday at her graduation.
How? Let me ask. How was that?
Phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, really phenomenal.
That's great.
She looked brilliant. She is brilliant. She looked beautiful. It was great. All the young ladies. It's a all girls private school in Manhattan. They looked great.
Tell Mike Quinn, the blank man, says hello.
Well, I'll tell Quinny a lot. I'll say, Quinny, get me a couple of more Bud Lights is what I'll tell him to. Give me another bucket of Surfside. Keeps those buckets flowing. I'll definitely tell him.
I want to see y'all out here. I want to see you pop out to Borelli's. Even if you're in New York City, if you're in the tri-state area, come out tonight.
All right. Sending out that bat signal. Now, Jay, so how tall are you? Because we've never actually.
Dude, wait, no, I know. I've been thinking about this. It's about to be rough, bro. You know, I'm 5'8", dude.
5'8".
It's about to be a height. I don't know if you've heard this word yet. A height mogging for the ages.
No, I have not heard mogging.
Mogging.
Oh, God.
Bada Booms will say it. He'll tweet about it. Or
What's
he'll
it mean?
talk about it in the video. It's just basically like when you totally best somebody in something. Like, let's say, all right, and this is hypothetical. Like, let's say we were doing a podcast and I'm like an incredibly good looking dude and I'm talking to like an absolute troll.
Okay.
I would be face mogging him because I'm looking better. So tonight you're definitely going to height mog me.
No, I'm not. So now, is it just about looks? Would we be able to insert the word mogging in
anything? It could be any contest.
Let me give you an example. So we're playing horse, right?
Yep.
And you go HORSE, and I just get an H. Did I just mog you in horse?
Absolutely.
All right.
Bingo. Bang.
I like the adaptability. I like the flexibility with the word. I'm all about the words. All right.
The way you got it first try. There we go.
Mogging. Although I think I would say mogging. I don't know if I would say mogging. I kind of leave that last letter right. Or I just mogged. I throw an ED. Dude, I just mogged.
That works.
Man. What happened?
That works too. There we go.
This is what I do. I make up words and I can extend words. That's like the only thing I'm good at.
Oh, dang. Yep. There we go. But I cannot wait for tonight, dude.
It's gonna be a blast.
So much fun.
I can't wait to hang out, man. We're gonna have a great time tonight. So J-Rod, hey, just get it up there again. Place is gonna be packed. So if you're going, get there early. Borelli's, Mike Quinn, the entire great staff and crew. Looking forward to seeing many of you that I already saw for game one at Borelli's, Long Beach. The place is absolutely phenomenal. And it's not just like, the vibe, the food. Like, all kidding aside, the food at Borelli's is just top notch. So I'll see you guys out there tonight. J-Rod's going to be in the house. Make sure you like this, pound that button before we go. Obviously share it, get some more traction out there digitally. Go Knicks. I think the Knicks win tonight. I think the Knicks come out. I do think that they flipped the script early. I think that I think the passing is pretty evident. I think there's no way they're coming out and Jalen Brunson's just pounding the ball, looking to, take on five guys. I think there is a very quick recalibration because that's what the Knicks do. Like, they've had a lot of answers. Anytime, at the start of the year, anytime there's been a question about the Knicks, like, they lost that game to the Hawks. What's going on? Okay, we're going to win by 51. We're going to win by an average of 20 points a night. We're going to Harden and company. Yeah, great. Max Strus fan. We're going to sweep you. Embiid before that, stop. You're not Tyrese Maxey's really good, but you're not ready. Sweep. And I do believe that the Knicks answer the bell tonight. I really do. I think now I'm not going to sit here and say that I think Mikal Bridges scores 23 points and all of the things that were wrong in the last game resolve themselves. But I really do. I think it starts with this. Head of the circle, deep on the wing. Cat gets the rock. A lot of guys cutting to the rim. A lot of corner threes. OG, Bridges, Shamet when he's out there. Although Shamet's a little bit less of a corner shooter than a deep wing shooter. Either way, I think the Knicks shooters show up. I think Brunson is not playing hero ball, and I think the Knicks win. And I think the Knicks probably win by about 7 or 8, 7, 8, 9, inside of double figures. I don't think it's flipping a coin on that final possession. But you don't know. But I do think the Knicks win. I do think they go up 3-1, and then we'll deal with the next game when we deal with the next game. So enjoy the game. Have an outstanding rest of your Wednesday. I will catch you guys tomorrow and obviously on some of the stuff that J-Rod puts out tonight from Borelli's. Have a great day. Bye.
This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me?
With your host,